It seems like every trading video nowadays always talks about ICT. They'll talk about their liquidity sweeps, their highs and lows, their fair value gaps, their inverse fair value gaps, but no one actually talks about why these things work or what ICT even is. And I'm honestly sick and tired of that, so by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what ICT is, exactly why ICT concepts work so well, and a full step-by-step strategy so you can start using ICT to become a profitable trader. First is the most basic question. What even is ICT? ICT stands for Inner Circle Trader, and Inner Circle Trader, or ICT, is actually a trader himself named Michael J. Huddleston. As you can see, here is ICT in all of his glory, Michael J. Huddleston. And after years of watching his trades barely lose every time, he figured out and exposed how and why the market actually moves. Using his findings, he created what essentially acts as a Bible and a dictionary for trading, and it became so infamous that now it is just referred to as ICT trading. The point of ICT is it's built on a few concepts. So what you need to understand is that people that move the market are the big Wall Street institutions that are playing with billions of dollars, right? When they put in orders, the market actually moves, and most traders think that they're competing with other retail traders, and they try and align themselves with other retail traders to think like they're other retail traders, just like you and me, but you shouldn't do that. The next understanding is that big institutions move the market, and big institutions want retail traders to get stopped out to provide liquidity or money to enter huge positions, right? So retail traders' orders literally provide liquidity for these big institutions to put in their enormous orders. They need retail traders' orders to get filled or their stop losses to get filled so that they can enter their positions. The next thing that you need to understand is that retail traders put their stop losses above highs and below lows, right? So here's a little, demonstration. There's liquidity above this high, liquidity above this low, liquidity below this low, and liquidity above this high, right? And just know from now on, when anyone refers to liquidity, we're referring to providing, retail traders stop losses. The next thing you need to understand based on these things is that institutions use algorithms to push the market to these areas of liquidity so they can enter big trades, which is exactly why 97% of traders fail. You would think if you just guessed on the market going up or down, you'd have a 50% success rate, but it's not how that works. Institutions, which actually move the market, which is why they're referred to as market makers, use algorithms to stop retail traders out. Based on this, the whole goal behind ICT trading is to align yourself with institutions by understanding that price moves based on liquidity, which leads me to ultimate goal, which is that to master ICT trading and become profitable, all you need to do is successfully align your trades with institutions. And, video ends here. Obviously, the next question is, okay, but how? How do we align ourselves with institutions? Of course, if I just had the institution outside my window and I can ask them where they're going to put in positions, of course, we can become a profitable trader. How do we do that? Well, this is why I want to give you the exact 3-step ICT trading process that I use every day, that thousands of my students use every day, and that millions of people across the world use to make money in the markets. Step 1 is to analyze which side of the market has high resistance liquidity and which side of the market has low resistance liquidity. Obviously, this means nothing to you yet, but if we look at this chart, in this case, we have high resistance liquidity. And what high resistance liquidity means is maybe one singular high, maybe one singular low, very far away, no highs near each other, just one low high in the market. And what makes it even higher resistance is when the high was created in taking out a previous high. Essentially what happens is when we have a high, as you can see, we create a high here, we have a liquidity pool above it, right? We have a pool of liquidity, we have a pool of stop loss orders of a bunch of retail traders in short positions putting their stop loss above this high. So we have a liquidity pool above here. When the market comes up and comes above this high, we come into this zone of liquidity. All these stop loss orders get filled, and that doesn't mean that there's now a bunch of liquidity above here. That actually means that this high is invalid. There's no liquidity above here. So price isn't drawn to this level, which is why it's called high resistance, right? The market doesn't want to go there. On the other hand, if we look at low resistance liquidity, this is going to occur in places where we have a bunch of stacked highs. As you can see, we have a high up here, a high here, a high here, a high here, and none of them have been taken out. This means that there is, remember, a liquidity pool above this price level, a liquidity pool above this price level, a liquidity pool above this price level, and so on, right? You get it. Once we come up to these levels, each one of these levels, price is magnetically attracted to. None of these levels have been taken out, and none of these levels were created in taking out a different level, right? So you want to find what side of the market has high resistance liquidity, which would be like something like, it would look like this, and what side of the market has low resistance liquidity, which would look something like this. Step 2 is to wait for a sweep of liquidity, which I'm sure you guys have heard of something called a liquidity sweep. If you haven't, there is, I just taught you it. You wait for a sweep of liquidity in the direction of the high resistance liquidity. So If you ever heard someone refer to something as a sell side sweep or a buy side sweep, right? Sell side just means to the downside, and buy side sweep just means to the upside. You know, sell side, if you sell, it's down. If you buy, it's up. A sell side sweep will look like this, right? We have this high resistance. It's just one low all on its own. We come down and we have this liquidity pool. We come down to fill these orders before coming back up. This is a sell side liquidity sweep in the direction of the high resistance liquidity. And a buy side sweep, same thing I just showed you in the other example. You know, we have this one high, we come up and sweep it, and then I'll go over it in the next one. But in step 3, now we have waited for our sweep of liquidity in the direction of the high resistance liquidity. So for example, if we see the market and we are analyzing the market and we find that there's high resistance liquidity to the downside, we want to wait for a sell side sweep. And if we see that there's high resistance liquidity to the upside, then we wait for a buy side sweep. Step 3 is to confirm delivery towards the low resistance liquidity using a high probability ICT based entry model. So what do I mean by towards the high resistance liquidity? Well, now you understand how to use both of the step 1 concepts I just taught you. And they're shown in here too, right? So once you get some type of confirmation of delivery in your direction, in the direction towards the low resistance liquidity, as you can see, we have a high here, high here, high here, high here. You bet on it to go up. All of these liquidity pools are magnets for price. Literally magnets for price. The institutions want to drive price up here because the market is literally run algorithmically to take out retail traders. And there's just an enormous amount of stop loss orders in this entire price range. And there's now no reason for price to go down because we've just created an extremely high resistance low, which we call a protected low, which is when it's a low created by sweeping out another low. And in this case, when we have a buy side liquidity sweep and we have buy side high resistance liquidity, as you can see, we had one liquidity pool on its own and we took it out, which created an even more fully protected high, as I just explained. And what do you see in this direction, the opposite direction? We have a bunch of low resistance liquidity, right? So you trade in this direction. Once you get confirmation of delivery using a high probability ICT based entry model. So if we get some type of entry model in our direction, in this case, in the up direction in this case, that's when you enter. And as long as you actually have a good entry model, it's the easiest thing in the world. Now, I don't have time to go over an entire entry model. It's a little bit more complicated. I will link a video down below going over my entire systemized ICT entry framework. So if you want my high probability ICT based entry model, go ahead and check it out and it'll be down there. It'll probably be at the end of the video as well. Congratulations, you've successfully aligned your trading with institutions if you are able to efficiently analyze the markets and perfectly execute an entry framework in the direction of your analysis. Now let's go over some frequently asked questions about ICT trading. First is the most common question I get in the entire world. What time frame should I use? ICT actually teaches that time is fractal. What does that mean? This means that any and every time frame behaves the exact same way in the context of their given time frames. You might be asking, how the hell is that possible? Well, remember, the market moves algorithmically. So whether it's the 1 second chart, whether it's the 1 hour chart, whether it's the 1 week chart, price moves towards liquidity to fill orders, and that's it. It's algorithmic. So on the 5 second time frame, it goes to fill orders. On the 10 second time frame, it goes to fill orders. Time is fractal. It doesn't matter what time frame you use, you just have to use it in their given context. So for example, if we go back to our examples here, if this is on the 1 minute time frame, it might take another 10-15 minutes for us to reach this top high. If this is the 1 hour time frame, this might take a few days for price to hit all the way up here, right? The market might take a fat minute to get up there. The next most frequently asked question is, what time of day should I trade? This is a concept that ICT also touched on, and he made what is referred to as ICT kill zones. This is when volume is high and institutions are active in the market. The highest probability ICT kill zone is going to be New York AM session. It's when the most amount of institutions are at play, and it's when the most amount of volume is active. And this is from 8:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to know exactly when I trade, I actually trade starting at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time and go to about 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. This is what I've just found to be highest probability for me. If you go watch my ICT entry framework, you'll understand exactly why. The next most frequently asked question I get asked is, what assets should I trade? There's gold, there's the S&P 500, Forex. Just trade the NASDAQ, trade NQ. Years of backtested data has shown that it's the highest probability, and why not just keep it simpler by trading one asset? At the end of the day, almost every publicly traded market is going to run, if they're traded by institutions frequently, the more that an asset, a publicly traded asset, is traded by institutions, the higher probability it's going to be using ICT concepts. Just use the NASDAQ, keep it simple, and profitability will be on its way. There's no reason to confuse trading more than it already is, right? One of the last most frequently asked questions I get is, can you actually predict the markets with ICT, or does it only describe the past? Well, me personally, I've live traded every single day in my exclusive community for 6 months. and have achieved over a 90% win rate. So, I mean, you tell me, is it a statistical anomaly? Just pure luck? 6 months, over 75 trades? I don't know. Now, my final advice to you is no matter how much you learn, you must pair this information with proper risk management. No matter how good your trading gets, you will never outtrade bad risk management. You won't outtrade bad psychology. So you need to lock those in. And besides that, you just need to work on your execution insight. You need to work on being able to properly analyze the market, finding high resistance liquidity, finding low resistance liquidity, and being patient, practicing patience, and waiting for your entry framework towards your draw on liquidity. And for more advanced ICT trading education, go ahead and subscribe and check out my other videos I post weekly on here, and would love to help you guys with learning. And if you do want to join my exclusive Discord community where I have live trade every single day for 6 months with over a 90% win rate, just go check it out. That will also be in the description. And I hope you guys have an awesome day.